Hello, and how's everyone doing today? Welcome to the channel if you're new. If you're a returning viewer, I'm glad to have you back. And welcome to another episode of Justin Talks Games. Oh boy, do I have a video for you today. Am I excited to talk to you guys? This is something I've been wanting to talk about since the information came out, but I've been so busy I haven't been able to make a video. But I've really wanted to talk about this, and I have enough time to sit out back. It's beautiful outside, nice outside today. It's a little bit windy. The wind might blow the phone down, but we're not going to stop that from us having a great day. We'll laugh about it. We'll reset the phone. I'm not even going to edit it out. Anyways, so make sure to grab your drinks, grab your snacks, and let's get into this. So, oh my God. Wow. There are 5 Fallout things coming. 5. And phone fall down. I knew phone was going to fall down. But yeah, 5 things are coming. And to think, it's been at least 5, 12, maybe 15, I don't know how long. It's been a very, very, very long time since a Fallout game, a single player Fallout game has come out. I can't remember exactly when 76 came out. I think that was like 2017. I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. Better yet, let me know in the comments when 76 came out, because I can't remember. And I'm not counting I'm not counting 76 for the last Fallout game that was made, because I'm talking about like single player games. But don't bash on 76. It's a very wonderful game, especially since the Wastelanders update a couple of years ago. It's very good. I love 76. To be honest, here's a controversial take for you guys. I like 76 better than Fallout 4. I know, but I really do. Anyways, let's get into it. So, like I said, 5 Fallout projects that most likely are going to be spread out for the next 5 to 7 years or so, because they're going to be big projects, with the exception of one of them. But yeah, so let's break this down. Bethesda came out a couple of days ago, and it was in a tweet. It was an official tweet, so it's from them. And they came out and they talked about the future of Fallout and all that. So this is the lineup. This is the thing that I wanted to make the video about. We have A, Fallout 3 remaster coming out. B, Fallout New Vegas remastered coming out. C, Fallout 5 is in pre-production finally. D, another Fallout is being made by Obsidian. And last but not least, talking about 76, there is a prequel, expedition, story chapter, whatever you want to call it, that is also coming quite soon, or relatively soon I should say, called Raven Rock. And it is a prequel story to the events of Fallout 3. We have a lot of Fallout coming, and I am very excited about it. The fact that, again, Fallout 3 remastered, New Vegas remastered are coming, that's really great. That's really cool news. I'm excited about that. But Fallout 5 is finally coming. The fact that they said Fallout 5 is in pre-production, it's like what? Fallout 4 came out in, I don't know, I think 2012, maybe a little bit after. I don't even remember. It's been a very, 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 very unacceptable long time for a Fallout game. Even more so, Elder Scrolls is even worse of a wait time. We're still waiting on Elder Scrolls 6. There's no update on that. They did say that their primary focus is still Elder Scrolls 6, which, like, no shit, it should be. Honestly, Elder Scrolls 6 should be out by now. Put it this way, Skyrim, right, is the last Elder Scrolls game in the timeline that was released. You want to know when Elder Scrolls Skyrim came out? 2012. Yes, that was the last Elder Scrolls game. That's not including Elder Scrolls Online and all that. The last Elder Scrolls game was the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. That was back in 2012. And all we've gotten are ports and remasters and a whole bunch of crap. So yeah, they better have their focus on that. I'm glad that the Fallout games are being made, which that's the main focus of this video, of course. But the fact that they said Elder Scrolls 6 is still a primary focus, well, yeah, I honestly hope so. Because, yeah, we've been waiting since 2012 for an update on, like, the Thalmor invasion and all that kind of stuff. So, hello, come on, like, get your shit together. Um, but yes, let's focus our stuff on Fallout again. So, yeah, like I said about Fallout 3 and New Vegas, they're getting remasters, which is really really cool. I'm really excited about that. um, they didn't say who's doing it, but I really really hope that it's I don't know how to pronounce their name. Virtuous, I think that's how you say their name. Um, I really hope it's them who are doing it. They're the ones who did the Oblivion remaster, and in my opinion, the Oblivion remaster, as someone who's been playing Oblivion for 20 years, as of now, like this year, because the original Oblivion came out in 2006, as an original Oblivion player, I think that the remaster is absolutely beautiful. I think it runs very, very, very well. I know that there are people out there who are having many issues with it, which I feel bad for. But those are mostly PC people. Um, either way, it's not right. They should be able to play it too. And again, kind of off topic. That's why I stick to console, so I don't have to worry about any of these. Oh, the game's stuttering. The game isn't running at blah 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 frames per second. It's not, I'm having issues with my graphics card and all that kind of stuff. That's why I like staying to console, because I get the best, what they can offer on said console. They push the console to the best it can be, and 9 times out of 10, console players don't have any of those issues. I'm not saying it never happens, but 9 times out of 10, we don't have to worry about any of those issues a lot of the time. But anyway, yeah, Oblivion Remaster runs perfectly fine for me. It looks absolutely beautiful. The game came out last year. I'm still playing it. I still have I only have two characters in that game. My original character that I made last year, I'm still playing that character. I haven't even finished the main story on that character yet. I've done most of the side stuff. I've done, what do you call it, the DLCs, like Knights of the Nine. I've done Shivering Isles and all that. I still haven't finished the main story yet. And the other character, I've done the main story, blah, 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 and I'm just about to do, Shivering Isles and stuff. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking my time with the remaster. I still, from a visual perspective alone, I still find myself stopping and thinking, wow, this is beautiful. Just stopping and taking in the views, even simple things like looking at the grass, the meadows, the forests, the water, everything, the flowers, the trees. The game looks beautiful. I don't know how else to say it, but the game looks beautiful, and it's so good. Um, it plays amazingly. They didn't change the gameplay at all. It plays exactly 100%, with only one change, but it plays exactly the same as the original Oblivion. Um, there are some features they removed that, it's confusing why they did, but whatever. Certain things, like in the original one, if you got certain skills high enough, you could actually like do rolls. You could actually like roll left and right, roll backwards, forwards. You could do backflips and all that stuff too, like really cool stuff. They did remove those for the remaster. I don't know why. That was a little weird to me. I didn't use those features, to be honest. I did them to play around and stuff, but I never actually use them like in battle or anything like that. So it doesn't affect me, but it's still a strange thing that they changed, that they took it out. And then they added sprinting to the game. It uses up your stamina. But out of those things, like the removal of the special moves and the sprinting, the game plays literally exactly the same as the 2006 game, um, which I have no problems with. I actually prefer the gameplay of Oblivion over Skyrim, which I know people are going to think that may be strange, but honestly, I love being able to be fighting, and then pop like a fire spell or pop a healing spell with the drop of a hat, or just like that whenever I need to. Where Oblivion, you can do that. Example, um, I'm fighting some bandits and this and that, and one gets the drop on me, hits me with a heavy attack, takes my health down. You know, as I'm doing attacks and stuff, you know, if I run a little bit, I with my sword still in my hand and my shield still in my hand, I can hit a healing spell and heal myself. Or if I get a good enough distance, again, still with my sword and my shield in my hand, I can hit a fire attack or a lightning, ice, whatever spell you have. You can use your spells while your weapon is in your hand. Um, Whereas in Skyrim, they took that feature out. I don't know why they would do such a thing, but they did. In Skyrim, you had to equip a spell into your hand. So you'd actually have to go into either your quick choosing area or go into your menu and click on a spell and equip it into your hand and then do your attack. Um, you could. I think you can hold a shield. I don't remember if you can have one shield and a magic spell. I don't remember. I haven't played Skyrim in a couple of years. Especially with Oblivion Remaster, I don't have a reason to go back to Skyrim personally. So I can't remember. If anybody watches this and they are currently playing Skyrim, or if they remember enough of it, let me know if you can hold a shield and do a spell in the second hand, or if it's kind of like Oblivion, where if you don't have a weapon, you can't use your shield. Because I know in Oblivion, if you are doing hand to hand, but if you equip a shield, the shield you won't actually be able to use the shield to block. If it's enchanted, you'll still get the enchanted effects on your character, but you can't block with the shield. You can only block with the shield if you have a weapon in your hand. So I can't remember. But yeah, in Oblivion, like I was saying, you can use your spells, you can do this, you can do that. It's much, much better. And Virtuous, they didn't change any of that at all. It's literally 2006 Oblivion, gameplay, everything exactly the same, just with Unreal Engine slapped on top of it with some minor tweaks, with the the level up is a little different. Level up menu is a little different. You can finally zoom in and out in the map. That's something that I've wanted for 20 years. I don't understand why they never had that back in 2006. That was something that always baffled me because it's such a pain in the ass. Because in 2006 Oblivion, the map is zoomed in like this. So say my hand's the map, okay? Use an example here. My hand's the map, pretend. So pretend you're playing 2006 Oblivion and you open up the map. Oh, you want to see down here? You got to move the whole map down. You got to move the whole map up here. Whereas in the remaster last year, it's like this. You can zoom in, you can zoom it out farther. It's very, very good. That is one change that I am very appreciative of. But yeah, other than things than like that, as well as the difficulty is also different too. They made it where you can take more damage, or you can take less damage from enemies, and you can do more damage to enemies, or you can do less damage to enemies. It's quite interesting how they did certain things for the remaster. Which was really cool. I liked it. So if we take all of these things that I talked about, and if we apply this to, Fallout 3 remastered that's coming, right? We are absolutely in good hands. It's going to be um, the exact same game that's going to look like 100 times better. And that's not a bash on Fallout 3. I personally think, and you can think I'm crazy all you want, I still think that the original Fallout 3, right, unmodded, vanilla, on PC, PS3, whatever you play it on, is still a very beautiful game to me. Um, One thing that there are two particular places outside of main areas like hubs and towns and stuff. There are two areas that I am absolutely looking forward to going to, and the first one is there is a broken bridge or something near Megaton, and there's a lake, and if you climb up the bridge and you go to the top of the bridge, you look out and you see the lake and you see the wasteland and everything. It's such a beautiful sight, you know. Um, and I believe you can actually see. I can't remember what it's called. You have to fix it for Three Dog. I can't remember the name of the place. Basically, you have to get a dish from the Museum of History and you replace it, and you have to go up a big elevator. And again, it's in the um, what's it called? Basically, the city center. Um, Whatever, I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, the draw distance in Fallout 3 is absolutely amazing, and again, without mods or anything. So when you're on top of this specific bridge and you're looking out, you can see, like I said, the river or the lake or whatever. You can see all the Deadlands and everything, and you can see the ruins of DC and that tower in the distance too. Um, it's amazing, and that is one place that I am very excited to go and do in the remake. The second area that I'm really really looking forward to, and it's so random. This isn't, again, like these two places. They're not marked on the map. They're not locations that you can fast travel to or marked places. They're unmarked locations. Um, the second one is I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it is near the Citadel, but I could be wrong. It's a raider hideout, and it's sitting just on the outside of the Potomac River, um, and it's blocked in with metal walls and stuff. But when you come in, there's a chair, and like there's Christmas lights all over. And like I said, when you come out and you go around it, there's water, there's the lake on the other side. And I don't know why, but that's one of my favorite places in Fallout 3. That, and like I said, looking out on the lake is also something beautiful too. So those are the two major areas that I'm really looking forward to, which is funny because you'd think, oh man, River City or this or that. It's like, no, no, no. These are the two places that I'm really looking forward to seeing. So yeah, like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, and if it's Virtuous doing it, we are absolutely in perfect hands. Now, if I talk a little bit about New Vegas and stuff, that's going to be interesting too. Seeing the sand, because the whole game's a desert, right? So seeing the details of the sand on the ground is going to be really cool. Seeing Dinky the dinosaur, that's going to be another one. I'm going to be really happy. I know this is going to be random, but I'm going to be really happy to see Cliff Briscoe again, but in new graphics. If you guys don't know, Cliff Briscoe, he's actually the shop keeper in Novak. He works in the dinosaur. I don't know why, but out of every character in Fallout New Vegas, when you mention Fallout New Vegas, there's two characters that come to mind to me. One is Veronica, obviously. Two, the second one is Cliff Briscoe. He doesn't give any quests. He's not important in any way. He's just a regular guy. And yeah, I don't know why. I He's just one of my favorite characters in the whole game. And I know it's a silly thing, but Cliff Briscoe and Veronica are the top two characters I'm really excited to see. And since Virtuous does all the DLCs as well, they did. Um, I am really, really, really looking forward to seeing Dead Money and new graphics. On the cloud and all that. Excuse me. That's gonna be really cool. I know a lot of people don't like Dead Money, but in my opinion, it's actually one of my favorite DLCs. I love how it's dark and grimy, has that horror feel to it. It's just that's going to be awesome. Another thing I should mention too about Fallout 3, going back to that for a second regarding the remaster, and I have to bring up Oblivion again, is the ghouls, the feral ghouls and the regular ghouls. Now, I know a lot of people are worried that, since this information came out, but the remaster is coming. I know a lot of people are worried that, Virtuous or whoever's doing it is going to maybe make them kind of like the Play-Doh looking ghouls. That's what I call them, the Play-Doh looking ghouls from Fallout 4 and 76. But again, if this is Virtuous doing it, again, if I'm saying that correctly, hopefully I'm saying their name right. If it is them doing it, we don't have anything to worry about. If I take a step back into Oblivion for a second, the zombies in Oblivion, yes, there are zombies. They're classified as undead. They're an enemy type in Oblivion. Now, the zombies in Oblivion, they're very gory. They're very, very dark, in the sense of, they're torn up. You can see their ribs, you can see their insides and all that. They're just really, they did a great job on them. In the remaster, same thing. They're all messed up. You can see them. They're all ripped up and open, and they're skinny. They're like anorexic and all that. I know one thing people complain about is that, oh, Virtuous gave them shorts. They're not naked anymore. Who cares? The zombies didn't have like their wieners and stuff hanging out. Like I'm not. I know it sounds silly, but I'm being realistic here. People literally did complain that Virtuous put shorts on the zombies, and it's so stupid because in the original game, yes, they were fully naked, but there were no male or female parts. All the zombies were only male anyway. But that's besides the point. The zombies didn't have, any penises on them, right? That area was, in the most part, was chopped off. Like you've seen, that area looked like it was ripped off, kind of thing. So they didn't detail any of that. So obviously, Virtuous didn't want to take that extra step and do that, which that's fine. That is okay. I have no problem with that. So they put shorts on them. I'm okay with that. Again, every other character, whether it be a computer character or even the player character, when you remove their armor or clothing items, they have underwear on. So I don't know why, I know there are some really weird people out there, but I don't know why they would be complaining that, oh no, Virtuous put shorts on a zombie. I can't have naked zombies. Like, I don't know. To me, it's just stupid arguments like that. But anyway, aside from that, all the details, the infected tongue that I think the zombies had infected tongues in the original, did they? I can't remember. But either way, they're very gruesome, very gross looking, and all that. Just like the original one. Obviously, minus adding shorts and a very sickly infected tongue, which that was a pretty cool detail added, because I don't think they had an infected tongue and all that. Because in the remake, they have their mouth open and the tongue's hanging out, and it's all has like pores, and it has like a bunch of bulbs and stuff on it. Like I said, they did a really great job. So going back to Fallout and the ghouls, I think we're in absolutely amazing hands. I don't have any worries at all about them, toning down the ghouls or making them, as I call them, the Play-Doh ghouls. Um, I think we're in absolutely beautiful hands. And another thing that I'm absolutely looking forward to is the metro tunnels and having the ghouls chase after you in new graphics. That's going to be absolutely amazing. So I can't wait for that. Now let's talk a little bit about. We're going to skip Fallout 5 for a second. Talk about Fallout 5. We're going to skip that for a second, and let's talk about Obsidian's next Fallout game. Again, there's no information literally at all about Fallout 5 or this new upcoming Obsidian game. But there is something I do want to talk about regarding Obsidian for Fallout. Now, yeah, New Vegas was a very good Fallout game. It was very, very good. Um, I would say it's one of the best Fallout games. You know, um, I don't really. I was trying to talk it up, but I can't think of anything else. I basically put every Fallout game that's not Fallout 4 before Fallout 4. I don't know. I guess find Fallout 4 very boring. Anyways, um, but there is one thing I do want to bring up that I find that people ignore, they don't talk about, and either that or they pretend it doesn't exist, or if they pretend it doesn't happen to them. Of course, what I'm talking about is how absolutely broken New Vegas is. Um, Now, again, New Vegas is a very good Fallout game. I enjoyed it very much. I loved all of its downloadable content, its extra stories, its characters, the base game, all of its characters, the storylines, the lands, all of that. I thought they did a wonderful job. But, and a big but it is a very, very, very broken mess of a game. It is probably the most broken Fallout game of the entire franchise, if I'm being honest. And I know it sounds like I'm being mean to it, but I'm not. I'm being realistic. Again, I really like Fallout New Vegas. It's a very good game. But it's a problem when, well, I guess you can say it's a problem that the PS3 version, and I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, because anytime I bring it up, I do get a lot of pushback on this. The PlayStation 3 version is a lot more stable than the PC version. Yeah. In my experience for the PC version, I had to save in front of every single cell loading door. So say I wanted to enter a store or a shop, I had to save the game. Because if I clicked on the door, there's a chance the game would hard freeze or crash. I walked down the way, I walk into a town, and I start exploring. 10 to 15 minutes later, game hard freezes and crashes. I get into a battle with fiends, game crashes. Um, and it's not just me experiencing this. New Vegas is very, 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 very well known to be a very broken Fallout game. So one question I do have about the remaster, I know I said I was going to talk about their new game, but going back to the remaster for a second, the biggest question I have is, are they going to fix the stability issues? Again, I will be playing this on the PlayStation 5, of course, and not PC, so I know I won't have nearly as many issues as people who play on PC will have. Not maybe have. I know there will be issues, because again, it's the original game just being kind of blanketed essentially. But I wonder if they're going to fix any of the stability issues, and I really, 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 really hope they do, so that people can have a very good experience with New Vegas. Yeah, like I said, it's a very broken game. Anyway, moving on to the new one. Again, there's no information on it at all, but as I said previously, their last Fallout game was Fallout New Vegas back in 2010, and it was absolutely broken. And I know you could say, well, they were on a time crunch, they only had 18 months to make the game. Oh, it's Bethesda's fault, blah, 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 all that, nonsense. The fact is that it was very broken. They took on way more than they thought they could. They accepted the terms. I'm not going to get into that whole thing. I'm just trying to say here, for their newest game, whatever it may be, I really, really hope it's on the West Coast. And I really hope it doesn't have the Fallout 4 aesthetic, because I really, really don't like how Fallout 4 looks. I personally love how Fallout 1, 2, 3, and Vegas look. Even without mods, I could play those games all day, all night. I just love how they look. I can't stand how Fallout 4 looks. I hate how it looks cartoony. And I really hope that the new Fallout game that Obsidian's doing, I hope that it doesn't have that aesthetic. I hope they go with something different. Obviously, it's not going to look like New Vegas. It's not going to look like Fallout 3. Those games are like at least 20 years old. If they went back to that, a lot of people would start bitching, complaining that the game looks like shit and blah, 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 blah. Personally, I wouldn't complain. I'd be like, hey, I feel like I'm playing PS3 again. But in reality, just, aesthetic-wise and design-wise, I really hope they change it up. I really don't want it to look like Fallout 4 again. Hopefully they do something different. And make sure that the game runs. My biggest thing is, I really want the game to run. I don't want to be saving in front of every door. Like I had to do, back in 2010, 16 years ago. I don't want to do that again. So now let's move on to the last, or the second last thing, Fallout 5. Interesting. Fallout 5. There's a chance that Fallout 5 might be on the West Coast. And I say that because there's some stuff that the TV show people wanted to do for the TV show, but Todd Howard said, no, don't do that. We want to do that for Fallout 5. So that was quite interesting. And nobody knows. They didn't disclose. They didn't talk about it, what it was. So nobody knows what it was. But that's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting stuff. I think I talked about that before. But quite interesting stuff. And now that we're actually getting Fallout 5, probably in the next maybe 3 years or so, because again, they still have to work on Elder Scrolls, and get Elder Scrolls 6 out the door. So I'm probably going to say in the next maybe 3 to 4 years, we may have Fallout 5, because it's in pre-production. And I'm hoping, really hoping, that Xbox, kicks their ass into shape. And to be honest, I love Bethesda. Bethesda makes beautiful, wonderful games, and these beautiful stories, beautiful worlds. But I gotta be honest, the time between games is not acceptable. Like I said, Skyrim came out in 2012. That was Elder Scrolls 5. We're still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. That's crazy. And I think Fallout 4 came out anywhere between 2014 to 2017. One of the two, between that time. And yeah, we're still waiting for Fallout 5. And it's just going into pre-production now, which means we still have to wait at least another 3 to 4 years for Fallout 5. So as annoying as that is, and it's still stupidly annoying, at least I know it's getting worked on. So it seems like Xbox, the new person who runs Xbox now, is I'm kind of liking what they're doing. Yeah, they did a lot of layoffs on id Software and stuff like that. I don't really follow that. I feel bad for the workers, of course. Losing your job. You've been they worked there for a long, 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 long time. So it's unfortunate. But in the long run, maybe these internal changes needed to be done. And again, I'm not hateful, I'm not hurtful or anything like that towards any of these companies or people, as a lot of people are, and feel that other people should be. I feel bad for the people who are losing their jobs, of course, and I hope they find, work somewhere else, and I hope they're able to continue making wonderful games like they did, with something similar to what they did at id Software. But again, with all these changes and Microsoft basically kicking Bethesda in the ass and telling them you got to get your shit together, I'm assuming. Yeah, we got like 5 Fallout things coming. And the last one that I don't think I talked about, it has to do with Fallout 76. And I don't know, I know a lot of people don't like 76. I enjoy it. I think it's a very good game. But what I was going to say is that relatively soon, I don't know when, I don't think there's a date for it yet, but relatively soon, there is a extra story that's being added to 76. I'm assuming it's going to be like an expedition or something, kind of like the other ones. They had the pit from Fallout 3, Pittsburgh. You got to remember, 76 takes place 20 years after the bombs dropped. So the areas, like again, the pit from Pittsburgh are very, 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 very different. Again, there's a 200-year gap between, like, the bombs dropping and Fallout 3. So, the pit looked very different, but the fact is, they went there. We are getting a prequel story to Fallout 3, which, I'm kind of wondering how that's going to work. Are they going to do a significant time jump specifically for this expedition? Or is this expedition going to take place at the current time in 76? So like between 20 to 22 years after the bombs dropped. Basically, it's called Raven Rock, and it is being marketed as a prequel to Fallout 3, which is pretty cool. Raven Rock is mentioned in 76 in the Enclave base, one of the Zach's computers and stuff. It is mentioned. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting. That's one that I'm definitely going to be playing. Again, I don't know when it is going to be released. I don't know anything about it. When it comes out, I don't know if I'm going to do it on the channel or not, because it all depends. If it's just an expedition, then I'm going to be disappointed, and I'm not going to do it, because expeditions are basically go here, clear out this area, go here, clear out this area, return, and then you get special points to unlock in-game items that you can't get anywhere else. I'm hoping it's not those. I'm hoping it's not an expedition, and that is an actual story expansion. If it is a story expansion, then I will try my best to do it on the channel. But yeah, so those are the things that I wanted to talk about. Just to recap, Fallout 3 is getting a remaster. New Vegas is getting a remaster. Fallout 5 is in pre-production. Obsidian's making a Fallout game, and Fallout 76 is getting a prequel expansion of some sort, whether it be just another expedition, or it's a story expansion that has to do with Raven Rock. That's going to be very exciting. Let me know your guys' thoughts and your opinions on the matter. I'm pretty excited for the next probably 5 or 6 years or so, because obviously they're not going to be like coming out right now. They're obviously going to be spread out. It's going to be quite a long time. I do have a feeling though that the 76 thing is coming out this year. Again, there's no dates, but it's just a feeling that the 76 thing is probably going to come out this year, and most likely because Fallout is not getting its yearly Fallout celebration. It's a Fallout event that happens. It's not getting one this year, but it's getting one next year, and it's taking place in Washington, D.C. If that doesn't scream Fallout 3 remaster shadow drop, then I don't know what is. So the most likely Time of events is 76 this year, Fallout 3 remaster next year, possibly both next year, Fallout 3 and New Vegas remaster. If not, New Vegas will probably come out in 2028. And then who knows when the other two are going to come out? I don't know. But that's my speculations for at least the three Fallout things. Anyway, if you enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that fun kind of stuff. And I will see you guys in my next video. Until then, have a very wonderful day.